The yoga system does not distinguish between body and mind. It combines body and mind into one. And so you can say that your human body comprises 5 layers or sheets, one inside the other. And they are namely, and in the following order: mental, mental, energy, transitory, and bliss body, which is really, the bliss body is really your spirit being, non-physical in nature. However, as I lecture through this, because I will dwell so much on the energy body, I will depart from the numerical order and address the energy body first. Aside from, broadly speaking, to these 5 layers or sheets regarding your energy body, it is imperative to also address the 7 energy centers known as the 7 chakras. So we will also get into that, underneath the subject of energy body. So moving it along, you need to balance your Ida and Pingala so as to live a balanced life. Balance meaning that the intuitive and logical sides of you are equally important. You need to realize that, so you don't have to go through an enormous amount of steps to figure everything out. That's the working of the intuitive side. Now, your Pingala is associated with the sun, is the logical side of you, and it works with your 5 common senses. Your Ida, on the other hand, is associated with the moon. It is the intuitive side of you, works with your consciousness and awareness. Now, creating balance within your system is what makes you comfortable, most comfortable. So it is only partially true that comfort then is determined by, i.e., where you sit, the softness of the chair, or the softness of your bed. Comfort is largely dependent on how comfortable you are within yourself. Establishing comfort within yourself is what will enable you to master sitting totally at ease in one place, making it rhyme. You can say that there is no ease. Where there is no ease, there's likely a disease or some malfunction. So you are well advised then to capitalize when, for 4 times per day at 40-minute intervals, capitalize when 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after sunrise, 2 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after lunch hour, noon, 3 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after sunset, and 4 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after midnight, when the balance between Ida and Pingala rapidly shifts during these times. This is called, these periods are called zones, twilight zones to be specific. They are transitions of the moon. It is convenient then, therefore, during these 40-minute intervals, given the rapid shifts of the twilight zones, to bring your system during those periods into balance. That's why people choose these periods for exercise, and in particular in the field of yoga. Furthermore, throughout the day, at 40 to 48-minute intervals, the dominance of your breath shifts from Pingala right side to Ida left side, and from Ida left to the Pingala right side, the energy body. Now, 1 of 5. It's called Prana Maya Kosha. It's purely non-physical. The energy body is not something that you physically see. It comprises 72,000 nadis, and the nadi does not refer to a nerve, by the way. It's a channel or pathway. given it is non-physical in nature, like I said. These 72,000 nadis are evenly distributed on the two sides of you, 36,000 on each side. That is your right side and left side, logic and intuitive. And move along the left Ida, moon or luni, and right Pingala, sunny side of you, of your body. These 72,000 nadis have 114 junctions, otherwise known as chakras or wheels. Although they come in the form of triangles, 7 of these chakras being the most vital energy points. And we will get into specifics about these 7. We will discuss these 7 energy centers in more detail farther down in the presentation. However, for now, let us go back to speaking about Ida and Pingala. The Ida left side is referred to as the intuitive, and the Pingala right side is the logical side of you. Intuition being another way of computing, okay? Not another way of perceiving. For example, whereas logic may take you 10 steps to derive at an answer, with intuition, you may be able to skip all the steps or many steps and jump to the last. Therefore, it is imperative that you not only develop the logical side of your person, but also develop the intuitive side equally for your mind and body sake. Your energy body is the key to your entire system. As your energy body goes, so goes your physical and mental body. Those are the 2 layers. So once again, I am saying that your energy system is the key to managing and controlling your body and mind. Punta final. Now, getting into the specifics of the 7 vital energy centers, wherein you are free to choose how you wire yourself or how you are wired, based on the things important to you, where you lay your priorities, the choices that you make. Where you choose to put the emphasis in your energy and neurological system will determine the way you are, the way you become, and So now, getting into the specifics, the first 3 vital energy centers we are going to address: Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipukara, common to all living creatures. All living creatures. However, the reptilian brain, these first 3 that I mentioned, only require the use of the reptilian brain, which is common to all living creatures. Now, human beings are also creatures, but creature simply means created. However, you too have a reptilian brain. You, as a human being, in addition to your reptilian brain, has this cerebral cortex wherein lies your intellect. The reptilian brain, the nature of it is that it is territorial, it loves setting boundaries, and it is compulsive in thought and behavior. That's where that comes from. By comparison, it's in survival mode. For by comparison, the intellect, which is your tool for exploration, despises boundaries and is what pushes you to yearn. It wants you to grow and expand limitlessly, you see. So, first, Muladhara is located at your perineum, between your anus and genital area, making you place your vital energy center there. It makes your basic function that of eating and sleeping. That's it. So if that's it, that's it. Swadhisthana. If you concentrate your energies, put your vital energy center in that location, just above your genital area, that would make you a pleasure seeker, one who desires to travel around the world or whatever. Manipukara. 3. If you place your energies primarily into your navel area, around where your navel, Creole is, it makes you a doer, a person aspiring toward a career either in business or politics. Now, these ones are above now basic survival level, above where you only require the use of your reptilian brain. Now you can use your intellect here and above. Vishuddhi is your power center. If you locate it there around your waistline, that's the location. It places your energies primarily into make you a powerful person. Powerful in various ways. Various ways. Now, so that's the midpoint. 4. Now, 5, Agna, the third eye, here, between the two eyes. Now it's imaginary, okay? But this would be located here between the other two. So you can install a third eye. If you place your energies centered primarily there, in Vishuddhi, you will become, in Agna, between your two deceptive eyes, because those two are deceptive. First, they come with your bias. They only capture data from outside, and the data is you don't save it. It's unfiltered. So, you see what you don't want to see, you hear what you don't want to hear, such as. So the third eye works both ways, however. So whereas these two deceptive ones only work one way, they only capture data from outside. Your third eye scans within you and scans whatever is outside of you. So from within you, it informs the way you think, feel, and experience life. So what you do is you vacuum inside yourself, ridding yourself of your biases, all the ID badges you're carrying, and so you become so biased and prejudiced. God is impartial. So you have drifted from your spirituality and become this person. So whenever you make decisions having vacuumed inside yourself, and like I have, adopt a universal identity, then you're not there establishing another boundary when you're decision making, when you're making decisions. Instead, you're removing boundaries. For, if you put up a wall, of protection, it eventually becomes a wall of imprisonment. If you want to grow, you can't be putting up walls. You have to tear them down. That's the way to grow, for boundaries impede growth. So that's the point of it, long and short. With surgery then, and the help of an expert, you can relocate your pineal gland, as also known as the body clock, and place it between these two eyes, right? So when it secretes the hormone melatonin, it puts you in the right frame of mind, making you blissful, amenable to doing business, amenable, and instead of miserable and biased. So the third eye makes you see and think with clarity. That's what it does. And number 6, Anahata. Your creator genius is located right above your navel area. Your creator genius is what brings out your artistry and ingenuity. It comes in the shape of a 6-pointed star. The creator genius is in the center of that star. The triangle above is the creator, God, pointing down and filling the earth. And the triangle beneath, immediately under, is the human being, like such as you or I, aspiring to become all that we want to be, all that we can be. So now you are not only thinking with clarity, though through your third eye, but with your creator genius, you're also always feeling inspired. Your creative genius is what grounds you, my friend, enabling that you be able to explode. However, even unlike a drunken person drunk with alcohol or pharmaceuticals, a spiritual-minded person, when she explodes, because he's still unstable like a mountain, explodes without incident. Finally, with the third eye installed and the creative genius activated, you then be able to handle the final of the 7 vital chakra as the crown of ecstasy, which is the 7th crown and the only one that lies outside the body. It hovers above the head about 2 inches because it is spiritual in nature and manifests itself in different and various ways. Hence the reason a fortune teller cannot predict the future of a spirit-minded person, a devotee to spirituality. As a fortune teller would and can predict a person that lives by the cycles. Because the cycles go around and around. Every year we have hurricanes. Hurricanes are cyclical. Every year, we know what to expect. The earth goes out. The earth goes around the sun. The moon goes around the earth. Everything physical goes in a cycle. So they are predictable. But Predictions are good, cycles are good for fishing, farming, calendar making, but not when you want to advance and go to reach your ultimate destination in your career, etc. So mentally, a person never gets tired whenever she is ecstatic, but the body, being physical, does wear out. Mentally, you see, it's a spiritual thing, but physically, you have limitation. And so the legs under you physically would get tired from under you and let go eventually. You could die standing up. Being ecstatic is being drunk in the spirit, right? Wherein you cannot work. A drunken person cannot work. There's no such thing as a functional alcoholic. That cannot happen. If you're an alcoholic, a drunk, you cannot work. You cannot work. So, yeah, either you are or you are not an alcoholic. There's no such thing as a functional alcoholic. Because when you are drunk, you cannot work. Your mind never gets weary, but your body caves in eventually. Being ecstatic is being drunk in the spirit. So wherein it's the same effect whether you are drunk with, you call the Holy Spirit, your own spirit, or you are drunk with pharmaceuticals or alcohol. Drunk is drunk, period. The difference is that a person who is drunk with the Spirit of God or his or her own spirit is grounded. That's the difference. She is grounded. So you are there, in the spirit realm. What you're getting enlightened, you are being enlightened, but you are oblivious to space and time. That's the situation with a drunk person. You're orgasmic. That is the quality experience that you have. So you only want to be buzzed with ecstasy. As a spirit-minded person, you only want to have a buzz, a tinge that takes you through the day, and only from time to time become fully ecstatic. So now that we've addressed the energy body, as well as said earlier, the yoga system does not distinguish between body and mind. It combines both body and mind into one. So you can say that the human body comprises 5 layers or sheets, one inside the other. Having addressed the energy body, now we're going to go on to talk about the other 4. The outermost is the physical body, which you consider your hardware. Then you have the mental body, which you consider your software. So then we already spoke about the energy body. Now you have the intransitory body. The intransitory body goes from physical to non-physical. That's what happens. This is what the ghosts that relatives see, mourners see when they fail to properly dispose of their dead person's human remains. And finally, you have the bliss or spirit body, which is known as Anamaya Kosha. It is non-physical in nature. It's difficult to describe. Spiritual things are often difficult to describe. However, when a person touches the spiritual dimension, she becomes blissed out. This is the avenue through which you can know and have a relationship with God via experience. With God given through your consciousness and awareness. This is how you know you exist, through your consciousness and awareness. This is how you know what you think and what you experience, through your consciousness and awareness. You cannot know God via logic. The dimension requires surrendering. So in the spiritual context, surrender is not a weak concept by any stretch of the imagination. The same way you'd know a prostitute hypothetically, by experience only. No need for any darn understanding. Understanding is required by logic. Acquiring knowledge via logic versus spiritual knowledge. Knowledge via the experience, i.e. of a relationship, like I said. Well, to know anything, you first have to be able to perceive it. And we're closing here. You first must be able to perceive anything before you can know it. And there are only 2 ways by which you can know anything. One is getting knowledge with understanding through logic, which uses the 5 common senses, hearing, seeing, smelling, touching, and feeling, to reason and understand. However, the 5 common senses are only outward bound. That is, they only gather data from outside. And 2, the only other way you can know anything, having perceived it, is by acquiring knowledge via experience, only the experience of a relationship. i.e., this is the knowledge without the need for any God understanding. The way you'd know a prostitute hypothetically, the way you'd know God via experience, the way you know yourself, how you feel, think, and experience life. The way it happens from within yourself and not through your five common senses. For your five common senses are only outward bound. Finally, it is therefore a mysterious process. Attaining through the bliss body, this spirit nature. The spirit transitory body is the source of getting extraordinary knowledge. Remember now, you are a spirit being at the core who only became life when God breathed life into you. Okay, your body and mind only belong to you, but they will return to the dust. So, last sentence is that extraordinary knowledge is what comes down from God. Extraordinary knowledge. You get it through grace, via grace and the divine power, which is a free gift, graces, that together with your own finite power, makes you an indispensable person. Let it be so, yeah? Ito Allah, kaya sisaya.